still could go up more. Maybe down a little. Like that. So hi guys, welcome to live stream. Let me make sure that you guys can hear me. Yes, you can hear me. So if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, this is how, and this is how you'll get notifications if you want to watch live. It will be sent to your email when I go live. So you go to YouTube, then type in Lisa Cairns. There, and then you click on the picture, then you press subscribe, and then next to there is a little bell, and you just click on and say next. Okay, and if you wanted to subscribe to my website and find out my events, you go to www.lisacairns.com. And you just put in your email there, whatever your email might be. And then you'll get updated about events that I'm doing. Nice. And my next event is in Paris in the end of April, the last weekend of April. You can find that on my website. And then after that, I'm doing a retreat in the south of France in June the 16th. So it seems like the whole point of life is to remember home, to remember who you are. To see beyond what you believe yourself to be, which is normally what people believe themselves to be is limited. Is separate. And it's such an amazing trick that life plays on itself. So life is this boundless energy that's free, that's conscious of itself, that's experiencing itself. And it's not conscious of itself separate from things. The things are consciousness. All things are consciousness. In fact, you could say consciousness disappears in that there is simply everything and nothing, the form and the formless. Emptiness experiencing itself as everything. This looking, this perceiving of itself is so empty, has nothing in it. It's like a vacuum. There's nothing there. Not a thing. But it perceives itself instantly. The direct experience is perception, perceiving. All things appear instantaneously. This wall appears instantaneously. This sofa appears instantaneously. This jacket appears instantaneously. It's all a happening, and there's nobody putting any effort into experiencing it. It's simply being experienced. And that experiencer is totally empty, not a thing, not located, but yet all things. It's perceiving. It's a happening. It's a happening. And then on the everything side, it's love. On the everything side, it's an intimacy with all things. So it's empty, but then it explodes into manifestation, and that manifestation is love, is that beingness, is that aliveness, is that sense of being. And the sense of being is total love. So is that empty looking, that emptiness explodes into manifestation. It's experiencing itself, it's a perceiving, and then there is this sense of I am, this sense of being, and that's total love. That's the love side of manifestation. Basically, freedom is the coming back to what's actually happening rather than living in the imagination of what's happening. So I was just trying to point it in the positive and tell you what it is in the positive form. Like it's beingness, this emptiness. And then the negative in what you take away, it's the end of living in time. This end of this energetic contraction that you exist as someone, that you walked into this room, that you sat and that you're watching this computer screen and you're having an experience. That isn't true. There's nobody there having an experience. There is simply life experiencing itself. There isn't somebody looking at me. So it's the collapse of that energetic contraction, this pulling that makes it feel like somebody's experiencing. Who's experiencing now? The belief is that you're experiencing, but there's nobody experiencing now. There is only perception, and perception isn't you. You are appearing in perception. You, who you think you are, has never experienced a thing. Never. It's been experienced, the appearance of you. The you isn't the experiencer. The experiencer is this boundless force. Boundless, not limited. So in your hearing now, where is the inside and outside? If you put your attention, so the person puts its attention on the hearing, what is the difference between the hearing and the sound of my voice? Where does you end and my voice begin? Where is that divide? How big is your hearing? Could it be that hearing is everything now? There is no in and out. Hearing is this infinite space in which sound is appearing. It's the same with sight. Where does your sight start and stop? Where is the beginning of sight and where is the end of sight? The same with feelings. It's only the mind in time that says, I'm in here, I'm looking, I'm hearing, and this is my hearing, and this is my looking. I'm feeling, this is my body, and this is my feeling. That's only the intellect that says that. In the direct experience, it's infinite space in which all things are appearing in. There is no divide between someone here and an outside world. It's all one energy. So in all different traditions, it's always talking about coming back to the moment, but it's not you coming back to the moment because you don't exist. It's a seeing that all there is this moment, and this moment isn't divided. The actual experience isn't divided. What is divided is what we've been taught in words, and then an energy comes, like the energy follows those words. So what is divided is this and that, me and you. And then you've believed that you are somebody in that timeline, in the words, in what you think. But you're not anything you think. There is nothing that you think is you. Thinking appears and disappears in stillness, in presence, in this. And so in these talks, I also talk about doership. So I say to you, put your attention in what's happening, or put your attention in the feeling, but don't mistake what I'm saying. Don't think that I'm saying there's a separate person that can do that. There is no separate person. I can say to you, pick up your drink now, and then do it. The body will do it. There's an appearance that somebody can do something. There's an appearance that I can say, pick up your drink, and then there's somebody that says, pick up my drink, or there's somebody that responds, and I can say, put your attention in this moment, and there can be a movement of the attention, but that's not you. It comes with the feeling of doership, but that is a feeling. And that feeling and that thought to move attention is being experienced, and who you are is behind that, is prior to that. But I say it because it's not a prescription, it's a description of what needs to happen. But don't worry about it too much. I'm just going to turn my heating on because the sun's coming out now. It's okay, Katie. Okay, we'll go to some questions now. Yes, that's good. Hi, Steve. Hi, Renate. Hi, Hank. Hi, Tim. Hi, Lisa. Happy day to you. I wonder, could you talk about the first days, weeks, months after your awakening? What gave you a secure sense of presence, foundation, so to speak? Did you follow the Dharma straightly? Anyway, okay, much love and thanks. All along, I came to meet myself, how I've searched to find my way home. So hey Steve, I had many awakenings before my big awakening in Bali, and I don't like to think of it like a final point as such. Like, I don't like to have any arrogance around it. What happened in Bali, there was that explosion into everything, and so my last, it was like seen beyond doubt. It was just known. It just broke so much that happiness or love or everything I'd ever been looked for wasn't found in time. It was my essence. And there wasn't actually anybody experiencing this. There was only this intimacy of life itself, this intimacy of love. But there'd been many awakenings before that, prior to that. And I think it was pretty clear prior to that, all those things. But the energy kept covering or forgetting again in some bizarre way. I think a blessing of my character is I'm not like a I don't know how to describe it. Like, I'm not like, you get certain characters that want to be the boss or want to be the dominant one, or to know all things, or to talk about all things. And my character isn't like that. Even though I've ended up in this role, it's not a very like, it's just not like that. I had very low self-esteem before, and so therefore after the awakening, I think a huge blessing was that I wasn't claiming anything. Like, I wasn't claiming it. I didn't have the sensation that it was mine or that I could own it. And I think that was a real blessing. And in the character world, I had been to so many different speakers, and I just, for some reason, there was just such a deep knowing that I couldn't force this or push this. And that all I needed to do on the Lisa level, on the character level, was to be myself. And to be honest to myself, and to follow the flow of Lisa. Even though there wasn't somebody there ultimately could do that, it's just my best way of describing it. So I wasn't trying. So after that big awakening happened in Bali, the Lisa character, even though she went through a few weeks of trying to understand it, there was also such a surrender to being myself on the personal level. So I didn't get caught up in, oh, I'm enlightened, or I'm this, or I'm that. I just couldn't. Just on the human level, I just had to dance the Lisa dance and be true and honest to that. And to be happy when Lisa was happy, to be sad when Lisa was sad, to cry when Lisa cried. And not try to be enlightened, or not try to let everyone see what had happened to me, or get everyone to see what had happened to me, even though I ended up speaking about it. I actually didn't tell my friends and family. I attempted to tell my mum, but that didn't go down very well. All I said to her was I'm happy, and then she thought I'd gone loony. So, well, I suppose what I'm trying to communicate to you is just like the absolute humility of it. So my Lisa character didn't think that she was done, even though there was this deep peace and this movement back to this emptiness, this vastness, and this immense love that knocked my socks off. It was so different to what it was before. On the character level, Lisa wasn't trying to put that on as a badge, so therefore it could just be as it was. And I didn't have to be anything. I didn't have to live up to be anybody. So I could just carry on being this bundle of energy, of whatever it needed to be. I think the biggest problem about spirituality is that everybody's trying to be something. It's the biggest problem with the separation, is trying to be something. And all you need to do is be yourself. And in being yourself, you disappear. Khaleesi's herself. I'm myself. It's just, you just act everything out. You've not got this hidden world of you, this person that you're trying to live up to in time, this removal from what is. There's just impulse and reaction, thinking, emotion. There's just what's happening. And then who's really experiencing this is this vastness, this love. So in those 7 years since Bali, I think my biggest blessing has been that Lisa hasn't tried to claim it. You can even see it in the way that I speak. I'm rarely talking about or putting Lisa up on a pedestal. It's like you don't need to become anything to be who you are. You just need to be who you are. And who you are is this vast space that's experiencing itself, this emptiness that's experiencing itself as fullness. And on the human level, all of us, including me, can still work to improve and iron out our conditioning if we feel to. And be humble to that, and be humble in relationships. But really there's nowhere ever to get to. Who you are is this vastness. This, what's happening. And while you feel really separate and lots of suffering, as that separate, apparent separate person, just rest your attention in what's happening. So rest your attention in the feelings, in the seeing, in the hearing, in the feeling, in the I am, in the touch. And if there's really strong emotion, then you can do an emotional release of putting your attention in the emotion and then speaking it out. You motherfucker, you did this to me, you did that, or whatever. What has to happen is there has to be a collapse back into the experience. Often the separate person is trying to run away from experience and try to get to something in time, in the intellect, in imagination, trying to get to a better tomorrow, away from a bad yesterday. So it's trying to imagine getting there. And that's okay. Like that's what thinking does, is it imagines. but your home is here. Your imagination is just imagining pleasure. Pleasure isn't home. Home is here. And the reason the mind is doing that is because you've been taught that you're not allowed to feel certain things. And so for years and years, you've spent and put lots of energy into trying to avoid being certain feelings. You're not allowed to be sad, you're not allowed to be angry, you're not allowed to express all these things. So you've had that feeling, and then you've put all the attention up here. And what it's done is it's increased thinking. It's made the thinking go a bit neurotic when you have those feelings. And it's also made the feelings get stuck in the body because they've not been allowed to express themselves and come out. They've been shoved down. So that action of always trying to move away from feeling has increased the thinking. And then the thinking increases the feeling. It's like a cycle. This is why when you get into your 20s and 30s, after 10, 15, 20, 30 years of being identified, your body is quite uncomfortable. Because you've got into this cycle of trying to avoid the feeling. The feeling creates overthinking. The overthinking increases the feeling. Pretty simple, actually. Just seems complicated, but it's not. It's complicated because you've got no language for this, so you almost have to learn a new language when you're into non-duality. You know, often when people first get into this subject, people aren't even aware that they're thinking. So they're not even aware that this isn't actually a cup or a travel mug. That's simply the name we gave it. But they think that's reality. That's what this is. It's a travel mug. But really it is as it is. It's nothing. It's innocent. And then they believe their own thoughts to be true. So if somebody's been angry to them, if somebody's annoyed them and they've got angry, they don't even know they're thinking about it. They haven't even got perception that they're thinking about that. They just think it's reality. So it's like when you get into this subject, it's almost like you have to learn a whole language for it. Hey Amelia, lots of love from me, Adeline and Monica. We're again watching together. Nice, hi guys. So this is from Keith. The words of non-duality increasingly feel to me more like suggestions, guided imaginary or hypnosis, rather than a description of a reality. The language cultivates certain kinds of perspectives and experiences rather than revealing a truth. It's just another story about life, though maybe a very good one that can help to reduce unnecessary suffering. But yes, I will try not to worry about it too much. Yeah, it doesn't even matter, Keith. All that matters is what's happening. Hi, Julio. Hi, Lisa. Before Bali, did Lisa try and claim awakening experiences? There was always, before Bali, I always wanted to be more enlightened than what I was. But I don't know if I claimed awakening experiences because my teacher wouldn't acknowledge any of them. And I couldn't formulate the words for it. But what I was claiming was the teachings. So I remember, being very adamant that certain teachings were right over others. And that it was some form of truth. I still hadn't seen through completely that it wasn't true, and so I was still wearing that as a badge to an extent. And Ramesh used to have this thing that suffering is the end of blame, guilt, shame, pride, and expectation. And so I really used to hold on to that, and try not to have expectation, even though I wasn't admitting that to myself. That's what I did. Hi, Analia. Greetings from Uruguay. Thanks a lot for the talks. With pleasure, Uruguay. I forgot how you say that country. Hey, Julia. Hey, Alango.
Hello.
Hey.
Thanks for calling.
Okay.
1 minute.
Okay.
I'm able to see you. You're able to see me?
Yeah, no, I can't see you.
No?
Nope.
Oh, what do I do? 1 minute. Cut off. You're not able to see me, right?
No.
I'll just try to get the camera going.
Okay. No hurry.
Or shall I reconnect?
Okay, yeah, you can recall if you like, yeah. Hi, Chloe. Hi, Juna. Hi, Sebastian.
Hello?
Hey, Elango.
Just a minute. That I'm able to see you. Now?
I can see your picture.
You're able to see me?
No, I can just see your picture.
Now? No?
No.
Shall I try one more time?
Okay, but it doesn't... Yeah, okay.
Just one more time and then I'll
Okay.
stay with this. Hello?
Hey, Elango.
Hello, hello. You're able to see me? I'm able to see you?
No, I can't
No?
see you.
Now?
No?
Oh, just a minute.
It's okay.
No, I think you'll be able to see me. Now?
Yeah, I can see you. Hey, Elango. It's nice. Thanks, Elango.
Thanks for calling.
That's okay.
Some important questions today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, very important.
Yeah?
You're speaking about Bali.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is it hot in India at the moment?
it's getting hot. It's getting hot, yeah. So the illusion of free will and no free will. You've been explaining that a lot of times. Then how does it appear that this illusion of free will appears so true? I always think about this like in a TV screen there are pixels, black dots only are there. There is no movie out there. But then the person who sees that movie, gets into the movie, starts crying and doing everything about the movie, thinking it is real, because the brain interprets those pixels, pixelated images, and creates a reality inside, and then you think it is true.
Yeah.
That happens in 2 dimension on a flat TV screen or on a movie theater. Now, is it that this is happening in a 3-dimensional space where everything is actually pre-programmed, but then it gives an illusion that there are 2 separate persons speaking? When what happens actually is that in France there are trillions of dots moving around like an amoeba and talking, and in India there is another trillion of 3-dimensional pixels talking. This is a robotic virtual reality? You got my question?
No, I didn't get the question bit.
Okay. In a TV, when we see an image on a TV and we start seeing the news reporter talking to us, actually there is no news reporter, there are only dots, and there is only a play of lights there on the TV screen. There is no reality there. But then we think it is a reality and we start believing the movie and everything. Is it that we also are like those pixels on a TV screen?
Yeah. Except
and
it comes...
We are run by some universal TV station, the God principle.
Yeah, it just comes with lots of feelings of doership and feelings of being real.
But it is not true.
No. What is it that perceives now? What's perceiving?
I don't know. Something inside, I think.
But inside what?
Inside me.
What's you?
This body and this mind.
But actually go to the experience. So just shut your eyes for a second. What's hearing now? Where is the location of hearing?
It appears it's inside the ear.
In your experience, that's how it appears?
Yeah. Till I started getting into spirituality and the teachers, and especially you, when you have been teaching that it is the everything hearing, that still remains a theory.
Yeah. So right now...
Because if I close my ear, I can't hear you.
Right.
So it implies then that the hearing is coming through the ears.
Yeah,
and
but
when I close my eyes, I can't see you. So it's an implied knowledge that I'm seeing through my eyes and I'm seeing through my ears, which are located within my skull.
But
that's the knowledge.
What's the direct experience? The direct experience in this moment.
Of the hearing, you mean?
Yeah.
There is only hearing.
And where is the location of it?
As of now, I don't know.
And how big is that hearing? Where does it end?
When the answer is unknown, I can't describe it, isn't it?
Well, just go into your direct experience. Where does it end? Or does it end?
When there is no noise, when your voice dies down, that sound ends.
Yeah. So, what about...
It's just happening.
Yeah. So what about now? How big is... where's your hearing stopping? So I'm making sound now, and where is the end of your hearing? And the beginning of my voice?
When you speak a sentence and stop, it starts and stops. That's what you're asking?
No, I'm just asking about direct perception. I'm asking you how...
It's unknown. This person doesn't know how it's happening. If you're asking the mechanics of hearing, that's different.
But what about... I'm asking you how big hearing is. Does it have a size?
Hearing is qualitative, it is not quantitative. You understand the difference between qualitative and quantitative, right? Qualitative is a plus or minus signal happening. It's either plus or minus. I'm just hearing. I mean, I don't know whether if you're asking about the volume.
I'm not asking about the volume. I'm asking about where your hearing starts and stops. Where is your hearing located?
It's just happening.
So it has no location.
I don't know. I'm just hearing it.
And who's just hearing it?
I am hearing this.
What is this I am?
Something. Something in me.
What's this me?
Something inside me. Something inside my head.
Mm-hmm.
Something somewhere near me, not far away from me. Not the infinity that teachers are talking about. I mean, this is the experience that I have. Despite the rishis, the teachers, you telling it is everything hearing, everything hearing. Because if everything is hearing, when I close my ears, I can't hear.
But that's a thought.
Yeah, but language is thought, which is audible, right?
Yeah, but it's not true. I'm trying to ask you about something that's beyond thought.
But language is actually thought which is verbalized. There cannot be language without thought.
Mm.
Can there be?
No, but I'm just trying to ask you about something that's beyond that.
You're trying to ask me something beyond thought through a mechanism of thought, is it?
Yeah,
That's,
but
I think, where we are failing.
No, we're not failing.
See, for example, if a person is sailing a boat, and then the person asks me, I mean, you are the person sailing the boat, then you ask me, travel on land without the boat. How can I travel on land without the boat? Because you are talking to me in terms of seamanship. You are talking to me in terms of language, which is actually thought, which is verbalized. There cannot be language without thought.
Yeah.
Thought starts with words, and words are, memory.
Yeah.
And from that memory bank, memory cache is what you're asking me. Then you're asking me an answer in thought form, which is verbalized, which wants to go beyond thought. And how is that possible? Is that not the sort of bane which has been happening in spirituality? Now, don't mistake me, I'm just being frank. We are using a certain mechanism, and then we are saying we want to go beyond that mechanism using the same mechanism.
Hmm.
Is there another technique?
You gotta resonate. You gotta resonate with it. It's like it's like poetry. It's like art.
Yeah. I understand what you're doing and where you're getting at, but then that language is like can't go beyond a certain
Yeah.
In
So
the
we,
logic of language of
so just let me talk to you, Lango. You just don't say anything, and I'm going to just talk to you. Because you think that I'm trying to explain something to you in language, and I'm really not. So just relax. So I just want you to move your attention all over your body, knowing that that's not you. That's an experience appearing in who you truly are. Just move your attention all around the body. And just let everything go outwards. You're not
what's that?
contained. Just let everything go outwards.
Yeah.
You're not
Go out.
contained. Yeah, don't think about it.
Okay, okay.
Just, you're not contained. You've never been contained. It's like an ocean. It's like you're trying to hold the ocean inside of your body, and like it's like a dam. You've built up all these walls around you to try and keep it in, and the ocean just wants to go poof. But don't think about it too much. The thinking is appearing in it. Thinking is part of the dam. Who you are isn't found anywhere. Who you are is this endless experiencing. Your mind wants to fight its way through like a warrior and understand and get this, but it can't get this. You can't get this. Just forget about it on the mind level. The mind goes backwards and forwards, obsessed, trying to work something out because it believes it will get something there. Always believing it will get something, get something, get something. But this is it. This is what's happening. This is where the freedom actually is. And in this, it's happening and not happening. It's empty and it's full. Perception is absolutely invisible. Perception is all things and nothing. And perception comes with this sense of being, this presence, this I am, which is absolute love. And on the personal level, just let yourself become aware of your body. Put your attention in your toes, in your knees, in your tummy, in your heart. And knowing that that toes, those knees, the heart is infinite space. That's not a limitation. That's not a wall between the inside and outside world. That's infinite space. That sensation doesn't belong to anyone and doesn't belong anywhere. It's boundless. You don't have to be anything, Ilango, to be loved. You are loved as you are. You seek to get love, but you are love. You seek to stop fear. But fear is part of the human form. It comes and it goes. You are safe as that emptiness. That emptiness never moved, never is born, never destroyed. And is the home, the love, the home. So the fear, the happiness, the joy, the sadness comes and goes, belonging to no one, meaning nothing. It doesn't mean anything, your feelings. It doesn't mean anything, your interpretation. You don't have to get anywhere. It's not about getting. It's just deeply relaxing back into what you already are. But it's not you doing that. To you, it feels like you're doing it, but it's not you doing it.
I got it.
You got it. Yeah, you got it.
Because Lisa's the no teaching is always a description. It's never a prescription.
Yeah.
Though Lisa has changed gears
Have
since
I?
last year. Yeah. We are the receiving end, now we know. Because the beginning it was not like this. We were swatted like flies when we just tried to get into the prescription part. 15, 16 I'm talking about. 15 I think. So what you're saying
Nope, that's
is,
enough now. Nope.
thing. Okay, I will not ask about me, I'll ask about you then.
No, it's enough now. That's enough. I'll move on to someone else.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh. Oh, really? It's nice to see you, Alange.
For us it's like, living at the times of a living Buddha, they say, is sacred. And to see is, and to talk is like, it's like the jackpot.
You are the Buddha, Alange. You are the...
I got the answer. That's the question I wanted to ask. Am I the Buddha?
Yes, you are.
When we hear these Vedic, the great truths from Lao Tzu or from Adi Shankara, Buddha, from Osho, we never saw. But then somebody living tells this to us, it's like walk the talk, the American way. I mean, you walk the talk, you tell us the truth. You are the conduit from infinity telling us about the infinity to us on a finite body and a mind through the trials and tribulations of everyday life. Even just a hair fall is like disturbing us.
Enough. Enough.
You come in and you do that cruise missile and tell us, you are God.
Yeah.
It's like...
You are the Buddha. But that's enough, Alange, because otherwise we'll just keep going on. I'll move on to someone else. Oh, but I love you, Alange.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I love you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Hi, Rose. Hi, Britta. Hi, Robert. Want to try me? Do I want to try you, Peter? What does that mean? Oh, I've just lost some questions. Somebody has asked me a very long question. Hi, Lisa. I'm watching your stream now. Hi, Robert. With my awakening integration experience, I'm having a lot of physical sensations in my body and exhaustion. I have a psychological condition that has caused a lot of suffering in the body. And in this suffering, there has been a catalyst to my expanding awareness. But now I am seeing ways that I may be seeking out suffering, first simply accepting, allowing it when it arises. I'm considering quitting my job, which is very stressful and mentally taxing, and slowing down to create more space for unfolding. Any advice on making a decision of this nature? Staying in the world versus stepping and slowing down. Yeah, come on. I'm not going to tell you whether you should quit your job or not. We could toss a coin. I'm joking. That would be very simple if we just had someone we could dial up. Should I quit my job, or should I do this or that? You know, some people inactivity, it's where they disappear. So sometimes, you know, having lots of space is really creates lots of disruption for the mind. The mind wants to work. The mind wants to work things out and do things. But, you know, and also at the same time, taking time and doing things differently is really beautiful as well. But I'm really not going to get in that conversation with you because that's not my place to talk about whether or not you quit your job. But one thing I can say is whatever you pick is perfect. And ultimately, it's not you choosing. Everything is leading us back home. Bye, Julio. Hi, Danny. Hi, Akio. Well, somebody else asked a big question. I met my twin flame in Germany. Never believed in it, but there was so much synchronicity, it's crazy. We can even feel each other from a distance. But what I was thinking, if she is my twin flame, I don't know what a twin flame is, I presume it's a lover, then must it be just me and her for the rest of our life? Am I not excluding other people then? And she too? How can love exclude others? How to cope with that? Because in a way, I feel like the feeling of being exclusive in sorts of ways, I know that is ego. Well, we're coming out of a society that that believes in certain things. So we're coming from a society that's had a way of functioning for thousands of years where basically marriage was very much tied up with trading. So the marriage into families was very much about the trading of money as well, and the trading of inheritance, and the making alliances with other families. And I presume cheating was more of a problem because having other people's babies screwed up that kind of system. So if you got pregnant by somebody else, then it kind of screwed up the system. So for thousands of years, we've had this arrangement and we've been kind of told what love is and what relationships are. And over the last 100 years, we've kind of been breaking away from that. And we went to the polar opposite. So as women became free in society, then we had this whole thing about falling in love and choosing your partner, and this whole being in love. So rather than it being about trading and money, it was about falling in love and then getting married, having the one partner and getting married for the rest of your life. So it changed from being a money thing to this in love thing. And now I think the people are beginning to realize that doesn't work either. I'm living in France and I believe that divorce rate is 50% and I'm sure that not everyone gets married. So statistics are 50% in France of divorce. So we've begun to realise that doesn't work, but we've, for thousands of years, been conditioned that survival, money, relationships, being in love, this very exclusive thing. And our society is kind of still set up towards that. So we have so much emotional investment in relationships. There's so much. There's having the kids together. And at the moment, we're just kind of beginning to explore different ways of having relationships. And this is really recent in humanity. So I think that there is a lot of conflict in relationships currently because we don't know how to do them. And when we don't know how to do something as humans, we get afraid. And then we kind of hold on to that which is the source of fear to try not to be afraid. I feel from my heart, but I can't tell you that that's the right way. I mean, I'm a conditioned being, so it might be that some of this comes from my conditioning, but I feel that the right or the flow in relationships is to not be possessive and exclusive, to not be that. So I feel that like sexual relationships, these love relationships, the only way that they can really truly stay love and be free is that each one, so each partner is given the freedom to follow their heart in every given moment. So the freedom to follow the impulses. So if the impulses come up to sleep with another, or to spend 10 years with another person, or to not see that person for 2 weeks straight, then there has to be that freedom to allow that. And the other person, if they feel hurt or sad by that, they have to be able to hold it. They can't rely on the other person to fix their emotional states. While you're relying on each other to free each other, then you'll have so much conflict. But this is something very new in society. And this has always been my way. Even before I had the awakenings in Bali, it's always been my way. I've always had this strong instinct that each person has to follow their flow, and I want my partner to follow their flow. The thing is what becomes complicated is when you still believe you're that person, then you play out all sorts of games if you can't get what you want. So there also simultaneously has to be this waking up and this coming back to center, to who you truly are. Because when you come back to center, then you're not going to try and control the person or manipulate the person through all your games. When you come back to center, the fixation or the focus is on the flow, is on this body moving towards its pleasures and away from pain. It's not fixated on trying to hurt the other, trying to manipulate the other, or trying to control. That doesn't happen anymore. So in relationships, each one should be given the freedom to do whatever they want to do and to follow that natural flow, to follow their heart. And it's the responsibility of each partner, even though ultimately there is no responsibility and there is nobody. But in the apparent flow of things, the responsibility of the partner is to be able to hold their pain and their jealousy and their sadness or whatever feelings come up, and to be able to hold it and be honest about it and stand there nakedly in it. This to me is true love in the human form. It's so beautiful. And this to me is how we as humanity should move forward into relationships. But you have to really deal with your stuff. Like, you really have to see that who you are isn't that person. And you really have to be able to hold your feelings and your emotions. There has to be huge maturity there. Otherwise, if the person is identified and isn't mature in their feelings, they'll be really passive aggressive, and they'll be trying to punish the other person all the time for doing and acting from their heart. And they won't even be able to admit it. Beautiful. So I don't know. I'm not sure who asked me that question. It flicked. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was saying. I was talking about something. Obviously. Relationships. Oh, yeah, so beautiful. Hey Lisa, Andreas here. Hey Andreas. Today I was sitting at the river and the seeker sat next to me. Why is the seeker coming back in waves? It's very confusing for him when he is on stage. Not really important question, but I wanted to connect because there's unresolved business. So Andreas, this is such a beautiful part. I really love films. I'm sure I've told you that before. But there's a really beautiful part to Lord of the Rings at the very end of the third Lord of the Rings, when Frodo has given the ring back and he lives back in his little hobbit town. He writes a book of his life. So he writes out his life and his story, and then he decides he has to leave and go on this boat to nowhere. But he decides to write his friend Sam a letter, and he writes to Sam, "I've lived out all my dreams. I've lived out all my stories, all my possibilities." I mean, I'm bastardizing. I'm putting it into my language, but this is roughly what he said. "And I can't live in your world anymore. But you have to live in this world while you still have dreams and while you still have desires. Well, you still have stories to live out." And then Frodo gives this to Sam and gives him the book of his life and then leaves on the boat to nowhere. It's so sweet. And it's the same, Andreas. The reason that the seeker's coming back is because there's unresolved issues in the seeker. The seeker still has a mission. The seeker still has something it wants from this life. And I think today you pretty much told me what you still want. So in a way, in the seeker world, where you feel separate, the seeker is all about trying to get that I am, trying to get that love in time. And all these places where it believes it's still hiding. Maybe it still believes it's hiding and doing this or doing that, getting this, avoiding that. And on the other side, it's trying to hide from those things it fears, not being safe, being alone. And none of that's true either. So the positive of what you want and the negative of what you don't want, neither are true. Neither of them take away or give to you. This is from Hank. Thank you, Lisa. Enlightening words. It's a bit scary, but yes, love can only exist in freedom. That's from Hank, who asked the question about relationships. The problems always arise in relationships because you're not allowed to follow your flow. And it's all building blocks on top of that. In psychology, in Western psychology, it's often problems arise because this person's passive aggressive, or this person's not dealt with that issue, and this person's not dealt with that issue. And we can look at our issues as these body-mind mechanisms. Lisa has issues, and that can be improved, and that can help improve relationships. But the true suffering is stepping out of being who you truly are. And this is where the conflict starts, and where we create conflict in relationship is by trying to stop the other one being as they are. But it doesn't mean there won't be conflict. Conflict is also part of being human, that we can't avoid that. They have this idea, you have this idea. You want this amount of money for this job, they want to give you that amount of money. You want red sofa, they want a pink sofa. You want a dog, they don't want a dog. Like, they can't like on another note, relationships will always have conflict, because also we always have different ideas. But what I was talking about was a deeper suffering. It's hard. I mean, everything I can say can be contradicted. It's hard to put this stuff in words. Can I have a one-to-one session with you? I'm feeling a big energy in my body, particularly as I listen to you speak, and I sense that connecting with you directly might help the clarity to shine through more directly. Yeah, sure, Robert. You deal with all of that on my website. I have a calendar on my website where you can book that in a one-to-one session. Ugh, Belango, stop it. I told you to go to your feelings and you're back in your mind again. The force of the teaching. Belango, go back to the body. Feelings, feelings, feelings. Who's looking? Lisa, want to thank you for what you're doing and how you're doing it. It's amazing. Bernard. Oh, thanks, Bernard. It's a pleasure. Hi, Lisa. I know a person that says he is a superego, and this is to beam God. Beam God. Lengo's laughing. Hello Lisa, today I had an insight that everything comes out of love. It was a long and hard journey to that insight. But what confused me is how is it possible that even bad things come from love? So my mind has a bit difficulty to accept this. I see that everything is happening in freedom of love, but some things are a bit hard to accept by mind. Can you talk about this? Yeah. So it's only our human brain and thinking process that describes things as good and bad. So say if I cut myself now, beautiful. Sorry, got distracted. Say if I cut myself now, so I just went, yeah, and we're just going to do a bit of a creative expression now. So say if I cut myself open and blood was pouring out of my arm. Looks funny, doesn't it? So say I did that and blood was pouring out of my arm, and then I said to Khaleesi, Khaleesi, look. Khaleesi, look. Hey. Khaleesi. 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 Okay, well anyway, she looks. So say she looks and then I show her my arm. Now you're going to all be disgusted by this, and as my Kylie personality, I'm going to enjoy it. So say if I cut open my arm, Khaleesi would be very excited by that and she would want to lick up the blood. Actually, I'm not sure if she would lick up my blood. Often dogs, when you have a cut, they like to lick it. But what I was trying to say is that to Khaleesi, the blood is food. To Khaleesi, it's a positive thing. We're so convinced that what we think and perceive is truth. So our survival is to see blood as danger and a bad thing. So we see that as a negative, and any blood, anything like that, as a bad thing. But that's not truth. To Khaleesi, it's a good thing. Maybe she doesn't like human blood, like maybe my blood would be different, but like if it's an animal's blood, it would be a good thing. So to a predator, to a tiger, that would be very enjoyable sensation, my blood. I know you don't want to go there. I know most probably everyone's like, Lisa, shut up. You're depressed. This is bad to talk about. But there's a reason why I like wearing skulls around my wrists. Because nothing's inherently true. So it's our survival, it's the genetics for us to have a response of negativity towards blood. Also, it's our response to have a negative, it's also a response, it's also a conditioning and genetics to have a very negative response to see other humans bleeding or in pain. So we label that as bad and we think it's reality, where it's not reality. The reality is it's not good nor bad. Or you could say it's good and bad. For the eagle, for the tiger, for the predator, for the scavenger, the death of my body or the death of others' body is a good thing because it's food. For us, it's bad. This is the same with everything. What goes up, what grows, takes from other things, and what is being destroyed gives to other things. This is total love. Seeing this is total love. It doesn't mean that on the human perspective you then suddenly start going and killing everyone and smothering blood all over you. I'm not talking about that or saying that we have to find it good on the human level, but it's seeing that the essence has no judgment on anything. It loves and embraces everything. And then seeing in the flow of things, in order for something to grow, something has to be destroyed, and destruction is giving. Growth is taking. In the human world, we see growth as good, destruction as bad, but it's like retarded way of thinking. It's like such a stupid way of thinking. Destruction is a great thing. That gives. Growth is not a bad thing, but that takes. And it also gives as well. What takes gives, what gives takes. It's an endless cycle, like fractals, endlessly changing like that. This is to understand true love. You know, where you still see some things as bad, that's not love. Like when you're looking at it and saying, oh, something's bad, that's not love, because you're looking in the conditioned response of the body. And the body has bad things and good things. The love can't be found there. The love is that which is beyond it. And all of it as well. The emptiness and the fullness. It's so beautiful. That is love. Hi, Tim. Hi, Lisa. Happy day to you. Thanks, Tim. I wonder, could you talk about... Oh, I've seen that. So true. Thank you. Surrender and acceptance. Yes, I... Lonely too now. Oh, happy days. Loony tune now. Loony. Sorry. The place is found everywhere. Much love. All right. Carly, did your wife let you keep Carly? Or did I get you the other one? I can't remember who I got you. Okay, guys. Well, that's enough for this evening. I talk. I talk. Hi, Lars. Nice. Long time no hear. Yes, I'm asking you, Alango. Yes, you're allowed to keep it. Nice. So sorry, guys, if there's quite a few people that I didn't get to speak to tonight. You can call on Wednesday, which is 6 p.m. French time. Or next Sunday, which is 6 p.m. French time. I'm always 6 p.m. French time. Wednesdays and Sundays. Please tell time change. Yeah, I'm sorry, Alango. Yeah, we've had a time change. We just changed last night. Yeah, no, but it wasn't the time change. France has changed time. Europe's changed time. We've sprung forward. I don't think you do that in India. We change with autumn and winter our times. So just check it out on a time translator. So it's still 6 p.m. French time, but it just will be different time for you. And American people, I think that it's different time for you as well. But thanks, guys. I love you. Thank you. Bye.